Here are a few beginner tips and tricks that you need to know before playing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to use a glider but there's no railings or carts that you can attach it to, you can use Ultra Hand to lift your glider over the edge and then bring it back. After doing this, you can use Recall, which will essentially lift the glider back to where it was over the air. After doing that, you can click L to stop, and you can easily get your glider started anywhere. This can also be used on bridges. You can use a log to drag it over and then back, and use Recall after standing on it, and it will move the log back. This is a really nifty and useful trick that can be used almost anywhere, so it's really good to know. After you've left the Great Sky Island, you will have a moment where you are falling and essentially skydiving down to the surface. During this, you can actually use your scope to pinpoint any marks, shrines, depths, spots, or stables, or towers, and it basically gives you a great starting point to find anything that you really need. Just make sure the first time you're coming down, you do make sure that you land in water, because you will not have your paraglider yet, so as you can see, I am not going to make it here, but yeah, it's a really nice trick. They didn't let you do this in Breath of the Wild, so it's super useful here in Tears of the Kingdom. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you simply just can't remember the materials needed to make a certain meal? For example, a cold-resistant meal. Well, what you can actually do is go to the food slot in your inventory and click on any item. After doing this, you can go down and click Check Recipe. This will open essentially what is your cookbook. This shows you every single meal you've made in the game. As you can see, there's Fairy Tonic, Sneaky Elixir. You can see all the recipes for elixirs, and also, look, there's some full restore plus yellow heart meals, and there is that cold resistant meal, sauteed peppers, for 12 minutes. So yeah, it's really useful in this game because you need these. Another thing that is super useful to know early game is that every single cave has what's called a booble frog. If you kill these in all of the caves, you can get a reward. I don't have it yet, I only have like 8. But if you kill them, they drop a booble gem, which is essentially another collectible in the game. So whenever you go to a cave and you want to clear it completely, make sure to look for that booble frog. They actually make a ribbiting sound, which is really helpful to find them. One thing that you should almost always do is, if you have unlocked the Zonai device for the cart, you can use the fuse ability to essentially fuse it onto your shield. This allows you to shield surf much more easily on any ground. Look at how far Link is going from so little, and without a cart on your shield, he doesn't make it anywhere. This is kind of useful in a lot of different situations if you're just going on ground, or if you're going down a big hill, and it's just really useful and helpful. Here is another tip that isn't necessarily for early game, but it is really helpful if you are familiar with the combat of this game, and if you have enough hearts and good weapons, and specifically dazzle fruits and bomb flowers. On the map, you'll find these enemies called Gloom spawn. Everyone calls them Gloom hands. You can thank this guy. Basically, if you fuse a dazzle fruit onto your bow, you can shoot it and then switch to bomb flowers, and shoot 2 bomb flowers and then switch back to dazzle fruit. The dazzle fruit essentially stuns them and allows you to kill them. If you do take out the Gloom hands, another enemy is going to spawn. It's kind of a spoiler, so I'm not really going to tell you what the new enemy that's going to spawn after the Gloom spawn is. It's really cool, but if you can manage to kill it, you get a really nice early game sword. Although the sword does have a catch to it, I'm not going to tell you what the catch is. For some reason, I couldn't get the enemy to spawn. I don't really know why. Maybe it's because I've already done it, or maybe it's because I'm too far in the game or something, or it's just a glitch, but he just wouldn't spawn for me. So yeah, it's really useful early game if you can kill it, but it's hard to kill. The Gloom hands are also hard to kill. Don't let them grab you, because they have the same effect as Gloom does. So yeah, if you can kill it, it's a really nice sword for you early game. And the last tip I have for you today is You're probably thinking, where did all of my abilities go from Breath of the Wild, and how do I get them back in this new game? Well, believe it or not, just let the game play out. Follow the story, you will get everything you want back. If you're wondering where your Sheikah sensor went, where the camera rune went, as long as you follow the story and the main quests for a little bit after like a couple hours or maybe more than that, you're gonna get almost everything back along with more stuff. So just remember, have fun. Don't start Googling everything already. How do I get the camera rune? Oh my gosh, how do I get the Sheikah sensor? Because it just kind of ruins it, I think, for most people. So, you know, just keep playing the game, and you'll eventually get everything you had back, and plus everything else that is featured in this new game. And that's really all I have for you guys today. This is the last tip. If you want more or you like this, subscribe and like the video. I don't know, like 120 likes, and I'll do this again. More tips for you guys. So yes, you're welcome. Thanks for watching. Binky says goodbye, I say goodbye, and the subscribe button says hello.